What is going on, lunatic friends? You've been sitting on your lunk bag for a little while. You just saw a crazy dump. If you follow me and you watch me every single day, you don't care because you understood what was going on. If you don't, then you're probably panicked and you're probably freaking out trying to figure out, like, what happened? Are we going to zero? Oh my God. No, the answer to that is no, you're not going to zero. But if you sell, you are a zero. So let's talk about what's going on, why you shouldn't be concerned. It's not a big deal. This thing happens all the time. This was exactly what I've been telling you since last week. Now, I have a show, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, every day, USA time. I live in Chicago, that will tell you what you need to know about the market. Also, I have a live stream that I do in the evenings, not consistently, not every day, but you can look for it. And really, it's a trading show. And in that trading show, I gave you where I think the market was going to go. And guess what? Here we are today. We're exactly where I told you we were going to go. Now, could we go lower? Sure. Could we go higher? We're going to go higher. That's the end. We're going to go higher. So let me break it all down for you. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in and take your victory lap. If you listened, if you paid attention, if you decided maybe you're going to DCA or something like that, right now is a perfect opportunity because you got exactly what you were looking for. Before we get started, sign up, become a member of the channel, subscribe. If you're a brokey, subscribe. If you've got a little bit of cash in your pocket and you've been making some wins and you've been gaining money because of what I tell you or because of what you do, become a member. It's $4.99 a month. And go to terracasino.io for all your risk-based gaming needs. The Chicago Bears 31-14 over the Dallas Cowgirls yesterday. What a good day. The Kansas City Chiefs lose again. The Louisville Cardinals win again. Hey, what a good weekend. And if you're trading utilities or meme coins in this ecosystem, Terraport.finance is the place to go for you. You can even get the Believe meme coin, which, by the way, I think it was up to like 5 million lunk. My bag's worth like 5 million lunk or like that. Look, it's not a huge amount, but it is an amount. Okay, so we've got an analysis here by Johnny Olson and Binance Square. Like to see when Binance is posting stuff about Luna Classic, but to be fair, Binance Square has posted a lot of stuff about Terra Luna Classic recently and really hasn't had any effect on price. So we're just going to look at this and kind of go over it. Price prediction for 24 and 25, 26 and 28. This is gradual recovery with potential upside if burns and staking accelerate. Well, that's going to happen. So yes, momentum could increase with wider adoption and consistent deflationary supply. Also a yes. And then 2028, 2030, if development and demand align, Lunk may reclaim stronger levels, positioning itself in recovery in crypto history. The key remains community strength. Now, what did you just learn on this? That this person has no idea what they're talking about, and they used AI because AI is afraid to give you numbers and tell you exactly what's going to happen here. So what you basically got was a fluff piece here to say that, well, if things line up, price will go up. If things don't line up, price will go down. That's ridiculous. But this is what we have right now in terms of media coverage. This is your news today in cryptocurrency. It's sad. Now, 7-day totals over here. Cremation token is starting to move a little bit. MBA still up a bit. But I mean, looking around, you're not really seeing a big movement anywhere. You're not really seeing a whole lot of activity and a whole lot of action in the market. And let me show you a little bit about why. First of all, before we do that, validators, all nodes is now #1 again. Not a huge amount of movement, by the way, that you can see other than a removal of about 1 billion from auto stake and being moved around. So, nothing really of note there to report. But what we do have is we have 3 proposals that are now up. And if we look at the signal proposal for the USTD, decentralized and fully automated yield-bearing stablecoin on the Terra Classic blockchain, then it is time for you. If you made good decisions, then guess what? This would be just incredible, right? It would be winning, ripping, whatever. So the people who have abstained so far are AutoStake, which was the big one, right? And we've got Green Friendly Labs, Naxim, no with Veto, Greenpeace, and Alpine Digital. Now, remember, you gave power to Greenpeace by making them a top 15, and now they're no with Veto. Why do they hate you? That's the question that you have to ask you. Why do they hate you? Why do they not want you to make money? Why do they not want you to earn yield? Why do they not want your chain to grow? By the way, people voting against progress. There it is right there. Show me on the chart where what they're doing is smart. Now, let's go to no over here. And Jesus hates you. He hates stablecoin. So he's used it to vote no. Didn't know with Veto, but he did no. So if you're validating with Jesus as Lord, you go ahead and you tell me in the comment section down below why he's so smart and why this is just brilliant. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I know you see it. I know you see it. And I know because he's got that name in there, you think, oh, he must be a good person. Well, if I were a bad person, I would use the name of a good person to make you believe that I'm a good person so that I can do bad things. And why would I do that? Well, the only reason that I would do that is because I think you're stupid. Now, the only reason that he would do that is, oh, wait a second. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you're validating with him, and by the way, if you're validating with him and defending it in the comment section, you're killing your own bag, dum-dum. Do you see what I'm saying? Is it making sense to you yet? These people are villains. They're bad for you. Now, again, this is an ideological thing. What Jesus is Lord does not want you to have is profit. Why does he not want you to have profit? Because he's got 2 validators that he earns enough revenue to live a life on. He doesn't have to work or do anything. He doesn't have to do anything. All he has to do is convince you that he can use religion against you and you fall for it because, faith. That's what's happening, by the way. So then you have your yeses, which is Juris Protocol, Lunk Goblins, Buy Notes, Baywatch, Burrito Nodes, Stake Bin. Now, you've got a lot of people who have not weighed in yet. Happy Caddy Crypto, still in a hospital with no internet. Crazy to think that for months now, Happy Caddy Crypto has been out there. I don't know what island he's on, by the way. I don't know what island he's on with no internet. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I hope he gets the internet. I hope that wherever Happy Caddy Crypto is, that he gets internet one day. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be, I feel bad for him. I really do. I feel bad that he's in the one place in the world with no internet, so he can't vote. He can't do anything, but that's okay. The people who ignore, they're going to pay a penalty. You know that? Did you know that? That we're about to have conversations about lack of participation. If you don't participate, you get jailed. So if you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And you can still be part of the problem by voting against your better interest, but that's on you, the people who delegate, to hold validators accountable. And if you didn't, it's your fault. Now let's look at price action. What I told you last week was it was my expectation that what we would see is the most likely scenario for me last week was a break to the bottom, right? That we were going to come down here and that you were going to get a great opportunity around this 5,000 range. Now we only went to 55, and that is, I think, and I'm not going to say that it for sure is, because you never know with this crazy crypto market exactly how everything's going to play out, right? But what you've got is you've got this low over here, upside low. So you've got a trend line that you seem to be moving along. Now, we were already moving along on this one, but we kept having these little breakdowns, right? So what we might be looking at right now is a pivot to a lower low over here. Now, that's not a great sign, not a great sign, but it's still an uptrend. This is still a remarkable sort of uptrend. By the way, if we did this like with a fan, where we did like a bunch of little lines over here, you'd start to see some of these lines just perfectly adding up. These are psychological levels that we're seeing break down right now. So, what we're looking at this point now, if we're bullish, if we are bullish, then over the last couple of days, we've seen this sort of break to the bottom, right? Now, if we look at that as a pivot and we do this right here, then what I would expect to see is a move back into the golden zone, which, by the way, I'm not making this up. I just did this randomly on the screen. We haven't talked about this yet, but randomly, exactly where we're consolidating is the absolute golden zone of this move on Fibonacci. So, what am I telling you? Well, I'm telling you that we had a breakdown, we had a liquidity move. And by the way, the reason that we had this dip is the Japanese market bond yields continue to go through the moon. So the Asian market wakes up yesterday, massive sell-off. Why is there a massive sell-off? Because there's easier and safer profits in bonds. And if you buy bonds in Japan right now, interest rate is at a historical high. So you're risking people out of the markets for risk assets. So that is what happened. And then that cascaded a long way because, you need people buying instead of selling. Now, what does this ultimately mean? Well, here's the thing. We're going to zoom back out here and we're going to go back over here. This is the entire market is down $130 billion. And I don't think that it's done yet. I think there's more dip to come before we move in the positive direction. And the reason that I say that is because, look, this dip that we had, I think corresponds with, to me, in my brain, when I'm looking at all of these different moves and stuff like that, I think it corresponds to kind of where we are, like right here before this big explosive move, okay? That's what I think is happening. Now, if I look at it on this chart right here, then I get my confirmation. I get my sense here. I get my feeling here that, this big dip right here, this big dip, that's the one that we're experiencing right now. That this big dip right here was this right here, this big pump right here. We're into this little dump, and then we're about to go so much higher. Right. And I keep telling you guys that. I keep telling you that it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Now, what I'm looking at in this context is you see here, these little moves right here. It just looks like we're just a tiny bit off on this synopsis, I think. And we're on, this is a 108-day offset. If we move to a 78-day offset, then, it's still not perfect. It's still not exactly right. So, but it's getting a little bit closer. What's happening at this point is that the distance here is drawing out over time. But here's the important part. The important part is we're going up, 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 up in capital. So I do think that we are in a great spot right now. This market is going to go so much higher. Now, as far as volume goes, we're up 173% on the day, which means that people are, this is a sell-off, by the way. This is a sell-off in the Asian markets that are happening. By the way, Asian, this is, for those of you that don't understand, Terra Luna Classic is an Asian coin. It was founded in South Korea, so it makes sense. And 223% in USTC. Again, same thing. It's just a massive sell-off. Now, let's stop for a second and let's back up and let's say this. Luna Classic is down 6% on the day. USTC is down 13%. We're starting to see some buyback, but they're down pretty big. But let's zoom out a little bit. Ethereum is down 6%. Solana is down 6%. XRP is down 5%. Link is down 7%. SWI is down 7%. Cardano is down 7%. Avalanche is down 5%. NEAR is down 7%. HBAR is down 6%. Arrow down 3%. By the way, buy yourself some Arrow, I think, if you want to hold on to something, because it's not really dipping the same way the rest of the market's dipping. Bitcoin only down 2.5%. Pendle is down 4%. Another good one that I think is going to have a massive reversal, very quick one. OM down 17% today. Look, my mistake on this one. I'm going to hold on to it for a while because I do think that there's going to be a significant rally. But this was, again, as an example of the Asian markets doing a massive sell-off, and they just sold out on OM very, very quickly. VeChain down 6%. Conflux, the Chinese public blockchain, down 15%. Ondo down 6%. Centrifuge down 14%. You're seeing just massive, massive, massive dumps going on every single place. Fetch is down 8%. Aave's down 9%. Aptos down 8%. Arbitrum's down 9%. This is that cleansing fire before you have a breakout, by the way, in case you didn't know, in case you didn't see that, in case you didn't recognize. And by the way, remember, if you will, that the reason I put this silly little blue line right here is because I thought that we were coming down to this level, and we're not there yet. In fact, what we're looking at right now is a remarkable sort of uptrend that we're experiencing right now. And that uptrend, and you might not feel it because we just had a dip, but that's what's happening. You're in an uptrend. And look, this thing's looking like that right there, and that was just a significant blow up. There's going to be another big blow up. It's getting ready to happen, okay? Now, also, we have to look at Bitcoin dominance. Guess what? Bitcoin dominance is bouncing. What did I tell you last week? I told you that Bitcoin probably going to rip because that's where the capital comes from for the rest of this market. So what's going to happen? Altcoins are going to get sucked dry, and then all of a sudden, we're going to see Bitcoin explode. We see Bitcoin explode, then the money's going to cascade back down and rotate back into altcoins. So exactly what I told you guys was going to happen is happening right now. So we also, and I'm going to clear this up, we don't have very much burn going on, about 162 million, but 52 million today. So some movements have been made. It's not burns. I don't think it's burns, but some significant movement has been made today in burns. Again, I'm inflating something that's still very minor and very small, but at least we've got a good burn day going, 52 million as of this video. So guys, I would not be concerned. I would not worry about this at all. Anytime you have a dip, I know that there's cause for concern because you pretend like it's real money. It's not. It's not money until you cash out. Until you make a stupid decision and cash out, it's not money, okay? It's just up and down. And if you consider it that you only want to go up only or something like that, then you're a scalper. You're a swing trader. You're not really an investor to begin with. You're just, you're just flipping burgers, basically, hoping one of them gets cooked right. You know what I mean? That's basically it. Okay, so put on your McHat, go to your McJob, and just chill out. Now, If you're a long-term hodler, guess what? You're going to be rewarded. But you should buy the dip. You should buy sitting at 55 right now. Is that where we were? 55? Yeah, we're sitting at 40.55 right now. You should be scooping this up. And then we're going to get a 10% rip in a couple days. Take your, if you have $1,000 right now, throw it at Luna Classic. When it goes back up, you're going to have $1,100. Take your $1,000 back out, hold that extra $100, add it to your big bag, and then boom, guess what? Now you have a bigger bag and you've done it and somebody else is paying your fees. You know how that works? It's very simple because you won. You got the upside move, you made a profit, and then boom, ta-da. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.